Okay, so let's talk about the TAF. The TAF is a forecast. So whereas the METAR is current conditions, the TAF tells you what's going to happen in the future. It's only available at bigger airports, valid for 24 hours, 24 to 30 hours, depending on the forecast. And it's usually updated 4 times a day. So this is looking into the future now. So it's less frequent updates, but it gives you more information about what's happening in the future. Now we're going to go through this pretty quickly because the TAFs are essentially using the same kind of code as the METAR is. So a lot of things will be the same. You'll see that same 4-digit code there. You'll see the time of the forecast in this case. And then we have something new. We'll see the thing with the next section here is actually the time period that the forecast is valid. So this forecast is going to be valid 2021. That's the 20th day of the month and the 21st hour. So 5 minutes past what the time is when the forecast was made, until the 21st day of the month and the 24th hour. So this forecast is actually going to be valid for about 27 hours for the rest of the current day and all of the next day. Now, our next bit of information is the current conditions. Our current condition is wind is 180 degrees clockwise of true north, 13 gusting to 23 knots. And then we have our visibility is P stands for greater. That's greater than 6 statute miles. And then few here, few stands for a few clouds at 25,000 feet above ground level. Remember, this is in units of hundreds. So 250 is actually 25,000. Sorry, my arrow's not pointing to the right spot there, but that would be what that means. So these are our current conditions. We have a forecast. It was made at this time. It's going to be valid during this time period. And then we've got our initial conditions. The next lines, the next several lines are basically a forecast lines. So this F means forecast, and it's going to be the forecast for the 20th day, 2300 hours, 11 p.m. From that point in time, these conditions are going to apply. So that's wind 180 degrees clockwise of north. So the wind will change a little bit. 11 knots, greater than 6 statute miles visibility, scattered clouds at 250 feet, 25,000 feet. That's the new forecast period. Wind is going to change. So this first section here is indicating the new forecast period. So this is saying this forecast is valid for this entire time, but certain things are going to change. And so then there's a new line for each time the things are going to change. So this period is now good for the 20th at 2300 hours, which is 11 p.m. until whatever this time is on this second line. And during that time period, we'll have a changing wind speed and direction. We'll have changing visibility is actually the same, I guess, but the cloud coverage is going to do what? We're going from few clouds to scattered clouds, and so we're increasing cloud coverage. And that's the way it's going to be for each one of these lines. Each one introduces a new forecast period. Now here we've crossed over onto the 21st day of the month, 1500 hours. That's 3 p.m. These conditions will begin to take over. Broken clouds at 5,000 feet, 170 degrees clockwise from north for the wind speed at 12 knots. And you see that conditions continue to go along until actually here we get SHRA. That stands for rain showers, and mist. BR is mist. Overcast at 2,400 feet, and then overcast at 1,700 feet. So you see we have increasing clouds. We have decreasing cloud height, so the clouds are getting lower. And then we have, so it's getting cloudy and it's starting to rain, basically is what's happening during this forecast period. And the wind is changing slightly, getting more windy. So this is what the TAF is saying. So we have a forecast period. We have our initial forecast at a particular time for a particular time period. There's our initial conditions. And then as things start to change, it produces, each one of these lines is a new forecast for that new time period. Now, just by way of reminder, I believe we talked about this in the earlier weather theory section, but we can measure the percentage of cloud cover as using these words. So CLR or SKC is 0 out of 8 covered by clouds. So we think of the cloud, the entire sky as a pie. We divide that into segments. So 0 cloud coverage would be clear or scattered clouds. Few clouds would be 1/8 to 2/8. Scattered is 3 to 4/8. Broken is 5 to 7/8. And overcast is all 8 the entire sky is covered with clouds. So these are the words that we have. Clear, SKC, few, SCT, BKN, and OVC are the words that you'll see in these TAFs and METARs. So let's get some more practice on a new one. We've got KPRC here, whatever airport that is. We've got, there's our time period that the forecast was made, the 20th day of the month, 1740 hours. So 1740 Zulu time. Our time period of relevance for this forecast is the 20th day of the month, 1800 hours, to the 21st day of the month, 1800 hours. So this is a 24-hour forecast. Here's our initial conditions. Wind direction is 170 clockwise from north, 9 knots, greater than 6 statute miles visibility, scattered clouds at 3,000 feet, and then overcast. You see, we have 2 cloud levels in this case. There's scattered clouds at 3,000 feet, and then it's completely overcast at 6,000 feet. Tempo. Tempo indicates that conditions will be temporary during a particular time period, and then they might go back to the way that they were. So here you can see this forecast starts at 2018, so 1800 hours on the 20th. This particular 4-hour time period, we're going to have broken clouds at 3,000 feet instead of scattered. So there'll be a few more clouds, and then it will presumably go back to the way that it was, unless we're modified by our next forecast time period. So this tempo means just a temporary change during that specified time interval, broken clouds. Here's our next set of forecasts, and I won't go into all the details on all these lines, but you can see 20th, 2200 hours. We're going to be changing our wind speed. We're going to have 15 gusting to 28 knots, 5 statute miles, light rain, overcast at 4,000 feet, and so on. Here's our forecast period at 2100 and on the 21st, starting at 400 hours. Wind direction is 200 clockwise and north, 11 knots, greater than 6 statute miles, visibility, overcast at 6,000. And then here we have some light rain that's coming at on the 21st at 1000 hours. Okay, so that's a lot of code reading. So just take some time, go through the examples that I have here in these slides, get online, go to that METAR converter, and get some practice looking at these and just get an idea of how these work. And then, again, very importantly, go through the book, make sure you understand the examples in the book and can interpret them properly. You can even put those ones into the decoder and figure out how those work. All right, so that's it for TAFs and METARs. Good work getting through that. I know that's a little bit complicated, but take some practice and you'll be fine interpreting those. We'll see you in the next video.